going on, everyone? It's me, Chris Hernandez, and welcome back to another episode of Should Your Kids Play? And today, we're actually jumping ahead of the popularity curve, and we're talking about Valheim. So, Valheim's actually one of my favorite new games, and I may even say one of the games that will be my favorite of 2021. Valheim is a sandbox open world role-playing game based in Norse mythology. The player starts their journey in the afterlife. You have been tasked with proving yourself to the gods by killing the Forsaken, who are the game's bosses. So you venture off to kill enemies, collect materials, and craft weapons, armor, food, and even build bases, all to get to your goal of defeating the game's 4 main bosses. The game is somewhat realistic as it has challenges that differ from other games that are similar to this type of sandbox genre. The night and day system creates different challenges for players. During the day, it's easier for players to fight enemies and collect resources. However, at night, it has its challenges as there are no lights. The player has to carry around a torch in order to see the environment, as well as build torches and lights and campfires within their bases to illuminate their surroundings. Other environmental challenges are the game's wind and storms. The flow of the wind creates a unique challenge for players as enemies and animals can pick up your scent depending on which way the wind is blowing. The wind also helps when sailing boats and ships across the ocean. Yes, I said ocean. The game's world is gigantic. Storms and rain present a unique challenge as they put out your campfires, which are very important. Campfires are used to cook different meats, and you also need them to use a bed. Beds are used to, obviously, for the character to sleep in, and it helps pass the night away, and you wake up rested with extra stats. And also, obviously, it is morning time, which means that you can get back to an easier time of collecting materials and doing your daily hunting. Speaking of food, food plays an important role in your character's stamina and life. However, the game stops you from eating the same food over and over and over again. So if you eat a piece of meat, you can't eat meat over and over and over again until your stamina and health are replenished. You have to mix that food with other different types of food. So you can mix meat with blueberries and with raspberries. You can mix them with mushrooms, and you can eat them in any order that you see fit or that you have them available to you. I have noticed that different combinations of food will give you different ranges of health and stamina. Last but not least, shelter is key in this game. Everyone needs a home base. However, the game has event challenges where the creatures of the forest attack your base. This means you need protection for your shelter because you can either fight off the enemies and defend your base, or you can wait the storm out. And by storm, I mean the enemies attacking your base. So, is there any replay value? I already have 24 hours invested in this game and actually a couple of live streams under my belt. So the replay value is very high here. So if your kid loves sandbox role-playing games where you can just build bases, create equipment, hunting, all of that stuff, they're going to love this game. So, is there a social component? Now, there is a social component to this game as well as a single player mode. I have only played in single player mode as of this video. A friend of mine is probably going to join my game soon, which means I will be hosting a private server. This means you can host a private server that only your real life friends can access, or the people that you give the code to for the server. However, there are public servers for this game where you can play in worlds with random players. If this game's community winds up being anything like the game Rust, I would advise that your kids stay away from online play. I've played Rust before, and I've been meaning to make a video on it as it has resurfaced as a popular game because of Twitch streamers making their own private server, but Rust's community is absolutely toxic, especially if you don't have any real friends to play with. I will be testing out online multiplayer for Valheim soon, so I'm hoping that the game's community is way better than Rust's community. It would be really cool to see communities come together to create servers where you can roleplay by joining clans and waging war with each other, even a community that has a large-scale cities with rulers and stuff. I mean, this game has huge potential to do some great things in an online social space. So here's to hoping that it doesn't actually become a toxic community. Now, let's talk about cost. Valheim is in early access and it's only available for PC. So you can catch it for $19.99 via the Steam store. Now, what's my final rating What's the approval? This is the first game I'm going to give 2 ratings to. I want to say it's great for kids 8 and up if they're going to be playing offline, but for online play, definitely 16 and up, as online play in games like this can bring out the worst in people. The video I've used for this is actually old gameplay of when I first started playing. If you want a more expansive look at the game, you can watch any of my live streams of the game. I multi-stream, so you can find my live stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I've gone ahead and linked them in the description to this video to make it easier for you. However, if you're already watching this on YouTube, then you can just go ahead and go to my channel and go to my live streams. Or if you're watching this on Facebook, same thing, go to my page and just check out my live streams. I have everything from base building and resource collecting to fighting and defeating the first boss on my live streams. Well, that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. We really jumped ahead of the curve here and reviewed an up-and-coming new game that seems to be making waves in places like TikTok and on Twitch. Don't forget to show some love, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, depending on where you're watching, throw a follow, drop into the comments, tell me what you think about Valheim, and I'll see you all next time.